all set. Red light is on and they're racing. Away and racing now, and getting away nicely is our Norman, and is joined by Barra Magic along the fence, and close up is General Grant as well, and the Dominican goes up on the outside to be very handy, sitting outside the leader in the early stages. General Grant dropped in behind it, and then came Truly Reliable, who's on the inside, followed by Let's Deal, who settles down third last for McGruddy. Second last on the inside is Red Dwarf, and last of all is Sluice Box. So out of the straight they run, and now Norman has got the lead. About to go over the crossing. Our Norman in its favourite role, led by one. Barra Magic's on the inside of the Dominican, and General Grant getting a bit of a better run today is racing fourth outside of Truly Reliable. Let's Deal only about 5 or 6 off the leader. Red Dwarf is down on the inside, and last of all is Sluice Box. So going into the back straight, 1400 metres left to go. It's just an even gallop with our Norman showing the way by one. The Dominican and Barra Magic the inside. General Grant is fourth. Fifth on the inside is Truly Reliable. Then Let's Deal, Red Dwarf, and Sluice Box is still back last and would be about 8 off the leader. 1200 metres to go. Our Norman, Holly Watson looking for a double, leads by 1.5. The Dominican on the outside for Pike is second, and third down on the inside is Barra Magic, also in search of a doubles, racing behind the leader. General Grant's on the outside from Truly Reliable, and then came Let's Deal, who's outside of Red Dwarf, and still last 3/4 away is Sluice Box. So they run off the back straight. Out in front, it is Zhao Norman, leading by 3/4 the Dominican with 800 to go. Barra Magic, General Grant, there's been absolutely no change in the order. Truly Reliable's on the inside. Let's Deal is in the middle. Sluice Box goes up wider out and 1.5 away. Red Dwarf, who's last of all, is still about 8 off the leader as they come to the turn. 550 to go. Our Norman leads by half. The Dominican is up on the outside running second, and General Grant moved up with the blinkers on out 3 wide. Just off them is Sluice Box out wider. Barra Magic the inside from Truly Reliable. Let's Deal is now working into the clear, put under the whip, but he's picking up some ground, and Red Dwarf is still back last. Our Norman on the inside with General Grant on the outside coming hard, and back in the centre the Dominican, and down the outside is Let's Deal. General Grant, Our Norman, also the Dominican. Let's Deal the outside. Our Norman fights hard, but General Grant's got the nose in front of Our Norman. General Grant's in front. Let's Deal late. General Grant has won. From Let's Deal, Our Norman, Red Dwarf, the Dominican, Barra Magic, Truly Reliable, and Sluice Box last. General Grant, big price here. Number 3, Stephen Miller and Michael Poy had a bit of a harder run last start, and it was first up. Finished 6th to Barra Magic. Contested some pretty good races last season, including the Bunbury Cup, the Autumn Cup, and he did race at Kalgoorlie and just lost sight of the bunny that day at Kalgoorlie when a mile off the leaders. His run wasn't too bad. I think it finished about 9th in the end, but he could be heading that way again, General Grant, and I'd probably put a line through that last Kalgoorlie Cup run, and he could be a big player because he was only second up today, coming off the back of, actually third up, coming off the back of the Lark Hill trial, but clearly needed those first 2 runs, and Stephen Miller brings up a double after winning with Auspicious. So a great day for Stephen. And Michael Poy had it running 4th. He pulled out 3 wide. The pace wasn't overly fast, so he made his move relatively early there, popping out. And a horse like Let's Deal wasn't overly suited by a moderate pace, but really wound up late and has finished it off well. 3, 4, 5. Red Dwarf ran home well into 4th, and the Dominican didn't quite see it out late. He was fighting on hard. That just faded in that final 50 metres or so after being right in line with General Grant and Our Norman with about 75 to go. So we'll head downstairs again. I think it's Josh down there, and Brittany Taylor after the running of the Drummond Golf Handicap.
Thanks, Rich. Yes, it is. Josh, boss can go away more often. Did an early double. That's always nice.
Yeah, no, it's great. Really great for the stable. We've had a bit of a lean patch with our wetter days and stuff, but it's good to see this the old bloke get up today, which is good. Fantastic.
What was the stable's thoughts coming into this race with the benefit of 2 conditioning runs into this prep, coming here third up here today?
Oh, look, I was saying earlier to Mr. Walsh that I reckon he's probably turned a corner a little bit. The boss has picked up his work. It always takes a couple of runs, you know, for him to come to hand, and we reckon the ground just doesn't suit him. So, yeah, look, he's definitely turned a corner, and conditions suited today, and Mickey gave him a pearler.
In In terms of turning the corner, what do you see from him behind the scenes in his work that sort of gives you that indication?
I jumped on him on Monday and you could just tell that he was just grabbing the steel a little bit more and a bit more happier within himself. So look, being a big horse like that, it took a bit to get the weight off him and stuff and going through the motions and that. So yeah, no, it's good to see. It's great to see.
Do you know if there's any intention to take him to Kalgoorlie?
Yeah, we were just speaking about it just pre-race and that. You know, if he was to come out and run well, that's probably the plan. So yeah, he'll probably head up there definitely.
Well, looking forward to seeing him there. Well done on this win and the double.
Yeah, thanks, Britt.
There's Josh Crispin for the Stephen Miller yard. SJ will be very happy on holidays, and I think he'll be happy to take a holiday more often if this is what the stable can produce. And clearly he's got the right man in the stable in Josh, keeping things on track. Certainly knows what he's doing. And General Grant, third up here today, it's worked out beautifully for him.
Well, time goes very, very quick, Britt. This horse went around favourite in last year's Kalgoorlie Cup and was in really good form at that time of year. So 12 months later, he's been somewhat forgotten, but he was given a wonderful ride here today by Michael Poy. He joins us now. Lovely ride, lovely run in transit.
Yeah, look, we drew well, followed the Pike, the favourite, I believe. We had a good run, popped out a bit early, put the horse in the race. I didn't really want it to be a sit and sprint, that's why I kind of attacked him a little bit earlier than you usually would, but horse was tough, horse was fit. I think all credit goes to the horse and team, they brought it in good condition. I just drew a good barrier and followed the favourite.
Like a pretty moderate tempo out there for the first 1,000, 1,200.
It was, they kind of got there pretty easily and then they just continued to roll. They never had to back off because they didn't do too much early. So luckily it wasn't a stop-start run race. It was nice, smooth. I got out when I needed to and the horse did the rest.
What do you think of Mahalio's run the other day?
Oh, the track was in pretty ordinary condition back then. It seems to be a bit firmer, not as much rain around, so I'll probably put it down to the track first up, but hopefully a lot better today.
Best luck.
Thank you.